Hey, y'all. Hey, how's it going? Archangel Lord. Oh, shit. I've got my volume on, so that sucks. There we go. Think I fixed it there. Won't get that annoying echo. I don't do this very often, so expect me to screw up quite a bit. So, yeah, I thought I'd stream tonight. I'm going to work a little bit on the on a recent Baltech commission I have, so in the meantime, I'll chit chat and talk, so I probably won't get an actual lot of work done. But, it's a way to kill the time, maybe do some fun stuff. Get to meet some people. Maybe some people will show up. I don't know if they will or not, but tends to be the thing. I've noticed that people don't really like watching streams where people are drawing all the time, unless you're a David Finch or a Jim Lee or somebody of that caliber. If you're just a knucklehead like Bruce, like myself, I don't like to speak in third person. Sorry about that. Don't get a lot. Do not get a lot. But I do appreciate you showing up there, Archangel Lord. So how's it going tonight? Got any big plans going on? Let's see if I rearrange this a little bit. Is that better? Is that better? Like that? No, nobody wants to do that. My big ass ugly mug on there. Nobody wants to see that. I think that'll work. That will work. I have this big ass microphone in my way. It makes it difficult. So this commission I'm working on, it's Pathfinder. And this is usually how I start off all my commissions. Do it really rough, like a blue line rough. I work in Clip Studio. And so it has this really nice feature where you could turn layers or groups or a group of layers into blue line. And I don't know why. I don't know why that helps me. I just like it better, I guess. I don't know. Because I could easily just, switch it off. It'll be black and gray, little gray tones. I think what it does is when I'm first working on something, I know it's not finished. As long as I have it in blue, it reminds me that it's not finished and I need to keep working on it. I think that's the deal. So takes me back to when I used to work traditionally before computers. Yes, I'm old enough to been around before computers. Well, at least before anybody had one in their house, right? And I used to just work traditionally, paper, pencil, ink. Used to ink with a little Winsor Newton #7 brush. And if you screwed up that, you had to have some whiteout or some correction tape, artist correction tape. Couldn't just Control Z and undo it, redo it or whatever. That's probably why now I work more digitally, because it's faster for me. Every once in a while, I still work traditionally, but usually that's like by request, or if it's a specific need, then I'll then I'll work traditionally. Usually, if it's for freelance work, it usually costs more than digital. But anyway, that's enough detail about that. But yeah, I think this, I think this mic is going to get in my way. See if I can reposition it a little bit. How about that? Just block off the face. That's pretty cool, right? Oh, that's not good. Probably hear my grandson in the background. He's on his PS5. He's 14, so when he plays, he's got to yell at the game, right? He's got to yell at the TV because nobody can hear him. But gets out that frustration, I guess. All right, let's see how this works. So I have the Pathfinder here, crawling over some urban rubble, some destroyed cityscape in the background. That's the initial plan. This mech back here is going to be a spider. I know it doesn't really look like one right now, but if you've ever seen my he's really loud. If you ever see anything that I do initially, it's really rough. Not much going on. Like if I have, I don't know, if I have an idea, right? Well, with clients, it's different. They normally give me general idea of what they want, right? Mech they want, or the subject matter they want, and what kind of scene they want it in. If it's going to be a scene, because I also do commissions where it's just the mech, right? Excuse me. But if it's a scene, I have to work it out. And I usually do it like really simple shapes. They tell me, oh, I want it on, they're out in, the woods or the country or on a mountainside or whatever. And they want to look it over the battlefield or firing at something in the distance or whatever. So, what I usually do is I'll just rough it out, right? And I'll say, okay, what is it? I don't know. Just pull something out of my ass. It doesn't really matter if it's a bipedal type of mech, like an Atlas or Battlemaster or Thunderbolt or something like that. Then I just make a really rough. Okay, what's he going to be doing? Maybe he's standing at the peak of this little ridge or whatever, right? The ridge is coming down like this, right? And then I want it more dynamic. I'm a BattleTech artist that I don't really enjoy just putting the mech in a just standard boom, you know, pose, right? And I like it to be a little bit more dynamic than that. And I know they're not human beings, they're robots, they're mechanical, and they're probably not going to have the kind of flexibility that a human being would have. So I try to strike a nice balance between the two. And then I'll just start with just basic, okay. Um, he's going to be standing with his leg cocked up further than his right leg, further than his left leg. So I get his hip placement. Then I get the upper torso in here. This is probably going to be it's probably going to be too tall the way I have it right now, but that's what I do. Let's say he's going to have his left arm out here firing. So I need something here. Then I'm going to need his upper leg up a little bit because it's going to be up. Right. And then maybe just his foot will just be barely covered by the ridge line. So I'll put it there. This other leg will be out. Maybe it'll stretch out like that. Maybe, who knows? Like there's so many iterations that I do before I come to a final one that a lot of this stuff probably will change by the time I get to a final one, right? So I draw it more or less like a humanoid to begin with. And then like let's have weapons here. Let's say this big weapon on this hand or whatever. And then, you know, most mechs don't have a neck and a head, so I just kind of put a lump there for the time being. And then maybe there's some mechs back here. Can't really see. And they're walking up as well, you know. And then I'll look at it and I'll say, okay, well, this is not really working out. And then I'll flip over. I'll flip it to see if it's like that, or if it's kind of leaning, right? It's always a good practice when you're sketching out your stuff to flip the page, especially if you work digitally. If you're working traditionally, you can take a mirror, hold the page up to the mirror, and you get the same effect. You see whether or not it's positioned correctly. So that's always another good way to do it. So, unlike this one, I think he's leaning a little too much. So what I'll do is I'll take him and I'll reposition him a little bit. I'm also going to move him back a little bit, right? And then flip it back to normal. And then recheck it again. Recheck the position again. See how that's working. So, and then, you know, I'll just kind of finish up what my rough is, you know. I don't know if there's maybe there's a large laser on his forearm here. Maybe there's another one on this arm. Maybe he's got I don't know, AC2 or AC5 over here on his torso. I think that's torso. Depending on what kind of mech it is, right? And then once I get that all kind of really rough of what I want, then what I'll do is I'll just put some really basic shading in, right? So I'll put a little backdrop in here. Hold on a second. And I'll do that. Start doing that a little bit. Just give a basic shaded outline of the different elements of the scene. All right. So this is going to be the major subject of the scene. I try to make him a little bit more predominant Like I'll probably have to go a little darker here on this. Yeah, it's better. And then the foreground. Most of the time, should always be darker than the rest of your image. But like I mentioned, this is just get a feel for where everything's going to be. Excuse me. And there might be some trees back here, so I'll throw in some roughs. Just some rough shading of the trees. Yeah. I like pine trees because they're easy to illustrate, easier to draw. Hey, John, how you doing, man? Hear my cat meowing? I'm not giving her any attention right now, so she's pissed. Come up here. Come up here if you want to lay down. You can come over here. I'm not working over there. What's going on, John? How you doing, man? I just thought I'd stream today. You know, get in the habit of doing it. Don't know why. Nobody likes to watch people draw, dude. That's the thing. Well, at least not me. They don't like to watch me draw. So, how's the weather over there where you're at? Springtime. Probably what, 100 over there now? He's smoking a cigar. See, now you're gonna make me want to go smoke a cigarette, and I'm gonna have to get away from the computer. No, I won't though. That's cool, man. That's very cool. That's what I need. Wife won't let me smoke in the house though. It's 75 over there. I don't know what it is here. I think it's cooler than that. We got minor cold front coming in. It's 63. That's cool front. It rained a little bit today too. It's supposed to storm like a bitch on Friday. Last week we had some weather. A couple tornado scares around here. Nothing really bad though. I'm originally from Kansas, Wichita, and I've seen a lot worse. So, you doing any more writing? Did you get anything else done? Get your magnum opus finished? Is that what you're working on? Is that what you're working on? Well, anyways, for anybody that's watching or watches later, this is basically how I start my pictures out. All right, my illustrations, whether they're for myself or I'm doing it for a client. 22 days from retirement, and then you're writing. Oh, all right. Sounds like an excuse, man. What are you doing? No excuses. Get it done. John J. LaChase here's good writer. We've got a project in the works. So hopefully everybody will be seeing that later in the future. Yeah. So yeah, that's how I do it. that was just me screwing around right now. I am currently working on this, and I hope to have the rough here finished tonight or sometime tomorrow. And then what I do is I go in and I do finished pencil line work over the top, or pencil. Okay. It's all digital. So what I'll do is I'll go in here, turn the opacity down a little bit on here, then select my pencil of choice, and if it looks like I'm doing weird stuff or my mic is doing weird thing or sounding weird, it's because I'm having to move and look around my mic. Hey, can you tell me if you can still hear me okay with the mic like that? Thumbs up, thumbs down, anything? Is it good, bad? Do I sound like I'm talking into a tin can? Anything like that? It's fine? Okay, cool. Because now I don't have to look around it to do anything. So yeah, I'll turn that all down, get out my pencil brush, and then I'll just zoom in a little bit to about 50%, and then go in here and just start laying down pencil lines, right? Which will be my final line art for the piece. I have post correction on right now. That's why it keeps looking like it's the line shifts, because Clip Studio tries to correct my crooked lines on the fly. That's why it does that. So, John, did you read any more graphic novels? Did you get Hush done? I think you told me you got Hush done, right? You read Hush? I kind of liked Hush. I'm a Batman fan, though, so that's kind of a gimme. So, Savage Sword, the new ones, right? Not the old ones, right? Not back issues. I'm talking about Bush was okay. Talking about President Bush or Hush. I'm just messing with you, man. I know what you're talking about. It's okay. You like the Conan ones better though, didn't you? Yeah. Well, Frost Giant's Daughter is one of my favorite stories. It's been told many times. It's been in novel form a few times. And of course, Robert E. Howard's short story. It's all good. But yeah, I mean, Conan is one of my favorite characters anyway, so. Let me see something. I want to see if I have that here. Magazine. What do I do with it? This right here, Slaughterhouse 5 and X. Okay, cool. Yeah. I have to go back and reread that. This is one of my pride and joys, okay? Heavy Metal recently they restarted their publishing of Heavy Metal, and they ran a Kickstarter, and you got to pick the cover, okay, of the one you wanted. Like they had a choice of, I can't remember how many it was. There was like maybe 10 different ones. And so I got my Frank Frazetta cover. You see that? Is there a glare on there? My Heavy Metal #1 of the new publishing run of it, with my gorgeous Frank Frazetta cover on it. Oh, dude, it's one of my favorite things, dude. Heavy Metal used to be one of my favorite magazines. Always. Really good artist in there. Really good sci-fi fantasy stories. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. I was looking for that Savage Sword, because you said Savage Sword #1. And I know, oh yeah, here it is. Here it is. This one? Is this the one you picked up? Right there? You see it? Glare. There we go. You see that? Titan Publishing, Savage Sword Conan #1. Yeah. I liked it. I'm going to be honest with you, though. I'm going to be honest with you. Because that's what I like to do. I like to be honest. There's a story in here. And the art is Max von Fafner. It's called Conan and Dragon Horde. And the Dragon Horde. I did not like the art in that. I'm sorry. It's just not my style. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I think I have. Is this #2? It's #3. It's #3. Yeah. Savage Sword. #3. Good stuff. New Savage Sword, new Conan from Titan Publishing. I tried to pick them all up, but I picked up the trade paperbacks for the comics. I don't buy the singles. I wait for the I'll wait for the trade paperbacks to come out, because I don't know. Because I buy a single and then I read 20 pages and I'm like, okay, where's the rest? So I just wait till they put a compilation of 5 issues together. Ordering 2 and 3 this week. What, Savage Sword or the trade paperbacks of the Conan comic? Which one? There's a second trade paperback right there. You know what I love about these? There's an artist working on these. Where's he at? I don't want to get his name wrong because I always screw up his name. But he's excellent. Excellent. Robert De La Torre. Savage Sword. Okay, Savage Sword. Robert De La Torre. I love that. I love that guy's Conan. I love that guy's Conan because reminds me of Big John Buscema, who used to draw for Marvel and did a lot of the early Conan runs. And he has to be one of my top 5 comic artists, John Buscema. And Del Toro looks, his style looks so much like it. Here, I'm gonna pull something up here. Let me pull something up. Prove it to you guys. So get a good one here. Get a good one. So many good ones. Is this big enough? Big enough to show? No, of course not. Um, so hard to find good high resolution images of stuff now because people steal it. People go on the internet, steal other people's art. Instead of just looking at it and appreciating it, no. Uh, Jesus. Make it so hard to find anything to show on my stream. Don't they know it's killing my stream? All that dead airspace? What the hell? What's going on? Okay. This might work. Yeah, this might work. Okay, I'll make that small for right now until I find the Buscema one. And show you why I like both these artists. It says I have 3 people watching, but John, you're the only one talking. If anybody else is in chat and can hear me, want to know anything or want to talk to me or ask me a question or tell me something interesting, go right ahead. Just so you know, I've used to work in the game development industry. I was a 3D artist. Did that for 17 years. And I've worked on indie comics since the late 80s. So there's a big time span there that we could talk about. Okay. All that means is I'm old. Okay. But there's a lot of shit we could talk about if you want. Just bring it up in chat. Let me know. Let's see here. I gotta find a Buscema. If you're a comic book fan, you should know who John Buscema is. That's the only thing I have to say about that. That's so small. I can't. Can't find a good one. I don't know what's going on here. AOC, yeah, Age Conan. Yeah, definitely. I love that game. I love playing that game back in the day. It's hard for me to play MMOs anymore because there's such time sinks. You have to really invest your time in them. They're like a job, you know, the MMOs. That's why I've went back to when I play a computer game, video game, it's single player game, usually story driven game, RPG, you know. It's got a nice narrative. I can just play through it at my own pace. Nobody's depending on me to be standing there ready to pop off my specials in order to defeat dungeon boss or something. Although that was fun back in the day. I get it. It was fun talking to people and all that. But man, it became a job after a while. Well, this is about the only I've been looking around. I'll be doing this all night if I do this. But I found a decent one. All right. So John Buscema. All right. What's truly impressive about him, or was, especially with the Conan stuff, really good visual storytelling here. Does a lot of good rendering. I've got a lot of line renders in there. Shadows, light, all that, you know, all that esoteric, very, you know, bourgeois speak about art. It's good. Okay. It's just good. When I see something like that, color me weird, but that's something I would hang on my wall for sure. No problem. Okay. And the truly impressive thing about John Buscema was he was quick. Okay. He worked for Marvel, got paid peanuts. All right. He worked on many books a month. I think they said that he could do 5 pages a day, comic art, 5 pages a day. And if you know anything about doing comic book art, that's a lot. To do them that quick and to be good at it, okay, it's impressive. So that's Buscema. All right. This is De La Torre. Let me get in there. Let me move my picture, my ugly mug over here. I mean, it's almost identical. It's all like the style is almost identical. If you look at Conan here, and you see his face, right? He's got the sunken in eyebrows. The eye sockets and the nice sinister looking eyebrows. He's got that those high cheekbones and the mouth, right? It's all very it's all very iconic when it comes to Conan. That's De La Torre. And we just go back here and this is Buscema. I mean, it's like the same guy's drawing it, and that's why I like it so much. I think it's so good. To me, that is traditional Conan. When I think of Conan in the comics, I think of John Buscema, and now I think De La Torre. And another one of my favorite Conan artists was Cary Nord, but his style was a little different. But it fit Conan quite well. And if you ever get a chance to check out any books with Cary Nord drawing Conan, which he did a lot for Dark Horse Comics, graphic novels. Matter of fact, John, I think you bought. I think Frost Giant's daughter. I think. Let me look. This one, right? This one, right? See right here. Cary Nord. Some really good Conan. It's a really good. I think it's in this book. One of my favorite panels in this book. If I could find it. It's Conan fighting. He's got his traditional old helm on. A lot of people associate with Conan, the one with the little spiky horns, and the little knot on top or whatever. And I'm a sucker. Call me what you want, but I'm a sucker for good pinup art. What they used to call cheesecake or whatever. I call pinup. People like Elvgren and Vargas, people like that. But Cary Nord does some really great stuff, and I really love how this panel, this page, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, is laid out. All right. You have all the elements as an establishing shot, letting you know what the city is kind of like, right? And the panels are simple. There's just talking going on, but the art is good enough and laid out enough that makes it interesting, right? I want to look at that page. I stare at pages like that forever because I see new stuff all the time with it. So got a message here. All right. But anyways, yeah. So that's why I like those two. A couple of my favorite comic book artists. Yeah, we won't save it. But yeah, this this De La Torre, it's just great, man. I don't know. I can't even express how much I like his stuff. Really good artist, especially for Conan. Hey Woodrow, how's it going, man? Appreciate you stopping by, checking it out. Yeah, Conan does have, and even today, like I was telling John, and Titan comic stuff is so good. I'm glad they got a hold of Conan and did it justice. Dark Horse had it for a while, and then they started screwing it up, like bad writers, subpar artists doing it. Except for Carey, like I said, a couple good writers. But I'm glad Titan's doing it now. Yeah, he's in volume one of Savage Sword. Yep, for sure, for sure. I was on a, I was watching a Jim when Jim Lee used to stream on Twitch. This was years and years ago. I was watching him one time, and I think he was doing a Red Sonja or something. I think he was doing something that was related to Hyboria, um, or the Conan universe, right? And people were talking about Conan artist, right? Ernie Chan. Ernie Chan's one. God, there's so many. I'm not going to remember them all. But like I said, John Buscema, Ernie Chan. Uh, God, there's somebody. Barry Windsor Smith. He did number one in Conan for Marvel. Now, Barry Windsor Smith, when you look at his art, you could tell the product of the 60s. Okay. And I know purists will say Barry Windsor Smith, greatest Conan artist. Well, that's because he was the first one for comic books. But I would argue that Frank Frazetta is what put Conan on the map. When who was it? I can't remember the publishing name. When they started doing novels or collected shorts, or other writers were doing interpretations of Robert E. Howard's Conans and stuff, they hired Frazetta to do the art for the novels, right? And as soon as they did that, those books sold like hotcakes, dude. They sold crazy amounts. Um, and I know that you guys know who I am, so you know that I'm a big Frazetta fan. You can't see it, but I have the Death Dealer hanging on my wall. I have what is it, Panther Girl hanging on my wall, and I have the God, I can't remember the name of this one. Oh, I have uh, the painting he did for the Ralph Bakshi show, Fire and Ice. I got that hanging on my wall, and then I have another one. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it's right there. So I'm a big, 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 big Frazetta fan. Okay, love Frazetta, and this Conan, I'm sure you guys have seen this one. God, why is my browser so slow? I must have a virus or something going on here. Okay, here we go. This was his painting for that book. Okay. And it is like the most iconic Conan. It's a like that's Conan right there. That's freaking Conan. No two ways about it. And if you look, let me zoom in here. How ironic. Painted 1965. Boom. That was the year I was born. There you go. Probably April of 1965. So there. But yeah, that is iconic Conan. You guys have seen this, right? You've seen this picture, right? This painting. I'm sure you have. Sure you've seen it. And if you haven't, then you've seen it now. So, and you're better for it. You're better for seeing it. Just kidding. Just kidding. I don't know what to talk about on here. I'm talking to you guys. And then there's always probably I want to find a really nice high resolution picture of it. Oh my god, I gotta find it. That's not it. Come on. So Woodrow, are you still here, or what are you up to? I got your message. You all right? Did you mess up the dinner or something? Or you just ate too much? I was really like, I know it's all cool. It's all good. We could do it another time, but I was really looking forward to getting some sort of update on the book and what's going on with that. If you had a time frame in mind. Gotcha. Yeah. Well, you're getting older, dude, so you know you can't be doing that shit. You're gonna have to start eating pea soup and oatmeal. Ask John, he knows about that. I don't know. Just playing. I'm just playing, John. Don't get mad. The print file should be done soon. Did you already get all your corrections back or whatever you wanted to have done? Meat, baby. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm that way too, bro. I hardly eat any vegetables anymore. I eat green beans. That's it. Oh, maybe potatoes because I eat mashed potatoes. No, I can't say that. I like avocados too. So there you go. I've already blown it, but yeah, I'm a big meat eater as well. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What was he doing for you, by the way? Just you don't have to tell me if you don't want to. I was just curious. What was he doing? Oh, gotcha. I got you. Just dialogue touch ups. Understood. I got you. Now, at some point, you just can't pull the trigger on it. I mean, how many people have you had look at it already to give you feedback? I mean, because everybody Yeah, that's what I was gonna get at. This is the iconic Frazetta. This is what a lot of people know Frazetta by, is Death Dealer. There's a really good video on YouTube if you guys ever feel like watching it. It's by Frazetta Girls. It's his it's Frank's granddaughter. Okay. And she runs Frazetta Girls, which is where you can get a lot of the Frazetta merchandise and stuff. And she's kind of hot. But she has a video about this particular piece and is what drove him, what got him to do it, and um, how people have tried to make a story out of it. And they actually had thought about one time making a movie, but it's like Frank had told them, "Well, there's no story behind it. It's just him. Like it's just this, right?" And so he was afraid they would screw it up and anything like that. Okay, I got you. I got you, Woodrow. No, I guess I'm just anxious to see it come out. Like, because everybody's going to have a different opinion of it. And I think you know that, right? I don't want to, like, don't take this as me throwing cold water on anything, but I think you know this as well. Once you put it out there, you are going to have some people that just don't like it. They're, you can't please everybody. Now your goal is to have way more people like it. So, so you can make your money, which is what I'm hoping for you. And then I don't get slammed too hard with the art. Because I know there are going to be some people out there who say, "Well, there's art. There's art is not very good," because they want somebody who looks like cookie cutter 90s comic book artist. I think you know of whom we speak. No, you're absolutely right about that. I don't think anybody could write anything that could live up to it, because you like there was a series of novels that came out. I think there was a trilogy that was based on Death Dealer, and then they turned it into a comic book. Aha, you're in luck. Check this out. John, you still there? Better be paying attention if you're in here. You can smoke your cigar and shit, but you got to be paying attention. Check this out. Ooh, maybe I should make it full screen. Just makes me bigger though, right? Okay. This right here, I'm going to pull it back. Hardbound in a nice case, nice textured case. Death Dealer. Shadows of the Mirahan. Okay. Frank Frazetta's Death Dealer. Hold on. Cat, you're laying on my freaking keyboard. I told you not to do that. Oh my God. Screw shit up. Cats, I swear to God. Well, that's what we were talking about. It might be difficult to do that. I barely even want to open this. Now, the art on the inside is it's not Frazetta, okay? But I only bought it because Pen and Inks is Nat Jones, and Nat Jones is usually pretty good. And some of the imagery in here is good, but some this is not my thing. But this is one of my prized possessions as a big Frazetta fan. Very cool. And then my Frank Frazetta icon book. Lots of stories, little blurbs about the different Frazetta art. Awesome. And then I have Legacy. I'll quit dragging the books out. Let me see that crap. But yeah, the icon book is great because it's basically just an art book. It's a Frazetta art book, and it talks about some of the pieces, you know. And here's another one called Legacy. It's the same thing. I can't even flip it open because look, it's still sealed. I haven't even opened it. And you might say, why would you do something stupid like that? Well, it's because I'm stupid. No, because I like to collect Frazetta stuff. Here's one of my favorite things here. Sorry, I keep turning my head. You can't hear me in the mic. Rough Work by Frank Frazetta. What is this? It's got a really nice padded cover. It's kind of nice. Well, what is this, you might ask? It is a book of Frazetta sketches, or how he used to plan out his paintings. Like he'd do a rough drawing of them, and then he'd move on from there. And so this book is full of it. Like it would take like I can't remember the name of this painting. I might say it in here. See here. Pelicadar. If you've seen the painting, then you probably know which one it is. It's a woman. She's standing there, and she has like a saber-toothed tiger next to her. Well, see how it shows. Like here's a rough of how you wanted to composite it at first, and then he has some sketches of the woman that's going to be in there, and then you probably recognize this particular female in a number of different paintings of his or whatever. So that's what this book is. This book's all about stuff like that. The story behind paintings, the sketches that went with them, all the lead up and stuff. Really cool book. Really cool book. Anyways. Let's take my ugly mug back off the screen. Woodrow, I was just showing them earlier. Commission I'm working on right now. And I was just going through the process of how I do it. So, but I was gonna pull out some stuff here since you're here, Woodrow. I don't know if I have any of the finished pages. If I do, are they in PDF format? Because you sent me something. Oh, I know what you sent me, but I'm not going to show that. That'd be ridiculous. I don't think you ever sent me any of the individual pages, right? You sent me the PDF of the proof, right? I think, is that the case? I think that's right. Oh, I don't need one in particular. I was just gonna show off on stream a couple of the pages, nothing to spoil or whatever, just what the finished what the finished pages look like. You got anything you want to shoot me over and I'll share it with people? Are they PDF or are they just image files? Because I have the PDF and I could just screen grab one of the things, but that's all good. I don't know. I just thought it'd be interesting. Okay. It's just the PDF. All right. Well, I could do that. Give me a second. I'll pick one of my favorite pages. Don't know why I like this page, but I do. I like it all, dude. So, whatever. Call me biased. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know how big this is gonna. I don't know how big this is gonna show up. You want me to just scroll through it? I mean, I don't want to do that. I feel like, I don't want to be that guy. Yeah, because I actually have the free book too. Um, that's part of that PDF. So yeah, we'll just look through the first couple pages and then maybe a couple of pages in the middle. But so this is the cover I did for the book, and then there'll be some alternate covers that you could get from the pre-order. And then we have the first pages with the letters in it now. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. He was fun to draw. You know, early on, it was it was difficult for me early on because of the horns, and actually the mouth too, because of since he's an oni type thing, the with the tusk and the teeth. I was really afraid that it was just going to look like I pasted 2D triangles on his mouth or something. I was really worried about that. But yeah, I think it looks really good, all finished with the lettering and colors. Uh, colors. The Barbusco, right? Barbusco, is that how you pronounce it? Barbusco, Mika. Yeah, because Ed's her husband, right? Ed's her husband, and he did the art for the free comic or the first comic, right? Yeah, then Mika did the coloring on this one. Is that right? Do I have that right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, some cool stuff going on there. Yep. Then we got Clio there. Clio, introduction to Clio. I told you about this, right, Woodrow, about this image, the full page spread on this one, where when I first saw it after it was finished, I'm like, is it weird that she's holding his severed arm because it looks like it's her hand? But if you really look at the image, you could tell there's a total difference there. But at first, I was a little worried about that. So, and then since I don't want to show off the whole book, I'm gonna let's look through here real quick. You can look at the top of my finely groomed head. Okay, while I go through this. There's another. Uh, and then I don't know why. I don't know why, but um, I like this page on the right. I like them both, but there's a lot of dialogue going on here, right? But I like how we framed it. Okay. I don't know. I like this one. It's another favorite of mine. Then this one here. I like this one. The one on the left, especially. It's like it. Woodrow, have you noticed that working with me, have you noticed that I'm not one of those traditional panel guys? I'm not. I mean, it's fine for some people. You know, some artists work really well like that. But I like to break up the panels a little bit, you know, not so uniformed. There's another set of pages I like. I think they turned out really well. I like how she put the blood in the background on the white panel. It looks really good. I like that. Kind of gives you an overall sense of that page and what it's supposed to be about, represent. It's really good. But like I said, I like looking at it now because it's complete, right? It has the letters in it, the lettering in it. Everything looks good. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. That your favorite spread, you think? You don't like the double page spread with the tack doing all his. I don't want to give it away, right? I thought that one turned out okay. The action sequence, doing like a slice, a Z slice through the double page spread. I thought it turned out pretty good. Oh, I got you. I got you. Cool, cool. I was trying to get on here and get some people come in and talk about comics or games or BattleTech. Because I know a lot of people follow me because of the BattleTech stuff. Right? So I thought maybe some people would come in and talk about that. Want to know I don't know about commissions or my ever deepening knowledge of BattleTech. No, I'm not a BattleTech lorist. I mean, I know the very basics, right? I know about the houses, I know about the clans, and I know what happened. I know some of the, history of the uh the Innisphere and then the clan invasion and stuff like that, but I'm not an expert. There are so many other people out there that know a lot more than I do about that stuff. So, but I do know that a lot of people follow me on Twitter because of BattleTech art. So, and I do love drawing it. It's one of my favorite subjects besides pinups. But so, what are you going to do the rest of the night? Anything exciting? I think this is supposed to be a spider, but it has like this weird thing popping out here. Anybody that watches this later, don't worry. I know this doesn't quite look like a spider yet, but it will in the end. It will. Trust me. I have my references ready to go. Kind of just putting in the rough. We got a little jump assist, rocket boosts back here. The spider's jumping. He's a jumping spider. Yeah, I mean they are. Crafting's their newest big thing they put in there. And some people like it. You know, of course, like anything that uh, Robert Space Industries (RSI) does, or Cloud Imperium or whatever they're called. Um, they stick it in there at the beginning, and it has some issues, and they have to work on it. So uh, it's no different. It's no different than what they got going on right now. But the systems are coming. Like they just put another new system in. They have Pyro, and they have the main one. Uh, then they have another one, and they have a bunch of new linked missions to do. In order to grab stuff, new armors and all that. So yeah, it's going good. It's pretty good. They're going to redo the flight model again. They're getting rid of master modes, I think, is what I heard. So yeah, Nix. Well, you've played since they had Nix, right? So this is nothing new, I'm telling you. They have, but yeah, I read or I heard that they're. I don't know if they're going to totally shit can the master modes, but did you stop playing completely? You don't play that anymore at all? No, you got bored with it. Oh, gotcha. Did you try that Windrose game, the pirate survival game? You've been playing Ark, or did you quit doing that? Oh, gotcha. Working hard, huh? Making all that money. Oh. Right. Yeah, I know. I wrote those rules for the tabletop miniature game, Play for Blood, the Western. Yeah, me too. The Western based one. And I started that over 18 months ago, almost 2 years ago. I started that. Worked on the rules for a good 8 to 10 months. Then got some people to play test, and then worked on the rules again. And I put it up for sale finally on Wargaming Vault. And I don't think I've sold one. Of course, I don't even know if anybody even knows about it, because I don't advertise it. I throw it out there a couple times to people to go check it out if they want to, but it's like anything, man. People have to know what it is, or that it's out there, or what you're doing, and if they don't, you're not going to get any play. You're going to have to get lucky that maybe somebody who has a big reach or whatever finds it, plays it, lets everybody know about it. Yeah, I mean, and that's on me. Like the only way to do that is to go to some of these conventions and run demos on it, right? That's really the only way to do it. Bring all the terrain, bring the miniatures, bring the rule set, and a good attitude, and maybe somebody to help me do it, and then just run demos. People want to play. Hey, show you how to play a couple games. Tell them where to get it. Maybe bring some printed copies there and sell those there. That's really the only way to do it. You got to hustle. You got to hustle. You got to do it. And that applies to anything, really. If you want anything to succeed, you got to hustle it up a little bit. Got to want it. Hey, Archangel Lord, how you doing, man? I saw you were in here when I first started. How's it going? How you doing tonight? Yeah, I've been pretty good. What about you? How you been? I'm looking up what the weapon is on the right arm of the Pathfinder. That's why I've got uncomfortable silence in my stream. I apologize. ER medium laser. It's a very light mech. It's 25 ton. Do you know I played Battletech since the late 80s when it was Battle Droids, and I've never heard of the Pathfinder. Ah, cool. What are you eating? McDonald's? Goulash? Spaghetti. ER Pulse. Fried rice. Nice. Chicken or beef or nothing? Chicken fried rice. Woodrow, you made steak and fries. Oh my God. You know what I had? You know what I had for dinner? It really wasn't dinner. My wife's working. She don't get off till 11. She's going to make sausage and rice when she gets home, but she don't get off till 11. So I had to tie myself over with a Earl Campbell hot and cheddar dog. So I had one of those. And then I have my little drink here. Sarna says that the Pathfinder's weapon is an ER medium laser. And it has a beagle probe on it. Well, like I said, I've never heard of it. Are you a Battletech fan, Archangel Lord? I'm just curious what brings you here. Battletech, art in general. Kuino. Yeah, no. Did I say that right? I always screw it up. Sorry, man. I should know that by now. I've only been with you for like, what, 5, 6 years? I've been working on it. You're a Battletech fan? Cool. So you definitely heard of Pathfinder. Oh, Big Red. Okay, got you. Well, look them over, man. I appreciate it. Like I said, I appreciate you checking it out. I don't know. You were here early when I started. I don't know if you heard, but this is a recent commission I have. Pathfinder and a spider in the background jumping into the fray, whatever he's shooting at. The first time I've ever drawn illustrated a Pathfinder. And like I just mentioned, I've played Battletech a long time and I don't remember hearing about a Pathfinder. So it just shows how much I know or don't know about the world of Battletech. So I hope you're not expecting a bunch of like lore heavy stuff on my stream here like you would get from Big Red, because he definitely knows way more than I do about the universe. I just know what the mechs are supposed to look like, kind of, and I can draw them. And I do like to play. Although I'm more of an Alpha Strike guy now than a Classic. Classic is fun, but it takes forever to play. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I do. I really do appreciate that. Oh yeah, you're right. It could be Dark Age. I kind of that's about the time I kind of lost interest in Battletech. Not only because of my age, I was in that weird age, and I got married. I joined the army when I was 17. Okay, then I got married when I was 19 to my first wife. I've been married twice, and then I kind of fell out of games and I fell out of Battletech, and that's when the clicky base Battletech. That was Dark Age, right? Am I right on that? Whatever they called that. Yeah. And I quit playing around then. Before that, I had a bunch of Ral Partha miniatures for Battletech. And then Citadel, I think Catalyst, then Catalyst took over. And then right after their first Kickstarter is when I got back into it because I liked the looks of the plastics. And so I started buying those. And I sold all of my old Ral Partha stuff. Yeah, that's true. I don't think classic rules have changed since 88, 87, whenever it first came out. Might have been, there might be like little changes here and there. I don't think right now. Like, I think they just recently came up with some changes to the classic rules. Stuff about ammo explosions and stuff like that. Oh, where are you at? If you don't mind me asking. No, that's true. That's true. It's easier to count out with the hex. You don't have to break out the ruler or anything like that. You can play Alpha Strike with a hex. You're in Indonesia. No, very nice. Well, except you can't get what you want over there. I guess from what you're saying. So here, since you like art or like my art and you like Biotech, I'll show you something. I had a commission a couple months ago and they wanted something specific. And I did this rough for them. And although they liked it, it's not what they wanted. So I'm going to turn it into something different. I'll show you what it is. It's supposed to be for Biotech. And I think it was I don't know if it was a custom tank or not, but I'm going to turn this into a personal project. And I'm going to put I want to put some sort of, I'm going to just draw right on here since it's digital. I can just get rid of it. I'm going to, somewhere back here, I'm going to put some sort of mech back here somewhere. And maybe more like it's turning its torso. I don't know. Something back here somewhere. You know, kind of fading off in the smoke. But yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Because I kind of liked how the tank turned out. I mean, this is really rough. This is just a rough to get the layout, but he the client wasn't really feeling it. He said he liked the art. It just that it wasn't what he wanted, so I had to change it up completely. So gonna mess with that. And then I started doing this. Let me know what you think this looks like. This was last week. I was in between stuff and I was watching a YouTube video, and so I just started doodling on this page, and I came up with this, and it's not based on any real mech, but it kind of fit in the Battletech universe a little bit, don't you think? Be like my custom mech or something. I don't know. Got a goofy right hand right now. I'm gonna turn it. I think I'm gonna turn it a little bit, like so. I can't really do it that way. It's not 3D, it's 2D. I don't know what I'm thinking. So stupid. Yeah, I just have to draw it different. I think about turning his hand like this. Oh man, I'm putting colors. Stupid. But like this. Yeah, that'd probably be right. Something like that. Something like that. I don't know. So I'm thinking. But yeah, it's not really any existing mech that I know of in Baltech. But I thought it kind of fit with the whole Baltech theme. And I kind of liked it, the rough, so I think I might finish it. Yeah, I mean, you could try to take a look for it. I mean, look at it. But like I said, they do in the Alpha Strike, the Commander Edition, I think is what they call it. It does have rules for hex based play with Alpha Strike rules. I think what it is that how they do it is like if a mech can move 6 inches, then you can move 3 hexes type of thing. I think it cuts it in half or something like that. Don't quote me on that though. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty. I think that's what it says. So Yeah, I think it's in there. I think it's in there. But like I said, I still enjoy playing classic every once in a while. When I really have to be in the mood. Like we have a group here where I live. I live in the DFW area in Texas, Dallas Fort Worth, which is a huge metroplex. Uh, but there's a group that plays, and they play like in North Dallas near Plano, and it's a good 45 minute to an hour drive for me. So I don't like to make that trip very often. And if you've ever been, I don't know, if you've ever been around here, you know the traffic is horrible. But they play classic, and what they do is you play on a Saturday, go in about noon, play till about 6. It's like 6 hours. But there's so many people, like, he'll have 2 maps set up, 2 games, and each game has 5 or 6 people, and each of those people, usually the battle values that he allows, usually you can get about 2 or 3 mechs, maybe 4. And man, oh man, it's so long. So it's like a slog for me, and then driving makes it worse. So that's the reason why I like Alpha Strike, because when I play Alpha Strike, I have older grandkids. I have older grandsons, and when we play, we just play like 2 mechs of Alpha Strike, 2 mechs each, because they're quick games. We can run them in 45 minutes. So we don't play because I know Alpha Strike was designed to have more mechs on the board, right? But it also lends itself to be for quicker games if you don't have a lot of mechs. Trying to look through some of my more recent commissions to share with you all. I always share them on Twitter usually, but it'd be good for the stream here. Oh, Summoner Kit Fox one seemed to be a crowd favorite. Uh, this one, this one I did a few months back. I thought it turned out pretty well. But the one that got me the most play on Twitter had like 1,900 likes on it, something like that, and close to 80,000 views or some shit like that. Was this thing? If I can find it, it was the Bushwhacker one. I don't know if you ever seen the Bushwhacker one. Yeah, yeah, this one. For some reason, that one popped off. Don't know why. I mean, I like it. Definitely. I mean, I like all my stuff, so I don't know. I think I did a really good job on this one though. And I don't know. Got the most play. And then the other one that got a lot, which is something I really can't figure out, is I did a Thunderbolt a couple years, well, more than a couple years ago. And I think there's just a lot of people who like T bolts for some reason. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, you seen that one? Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Like I said, it's the one that had like the most views or whatever so far. But this is another one that had this is the second. This is the one that has the second most. And it's really just a rough sketch of a T-bolt. I did that and yeah, it says right there 2021. And I'm not sure why. I think maybe just because people like Thunderbolts, I think. But I mean, not that I think it's bad or anything, but it really is just a rough. It's not refined or anything. It's kind of like a rough sketch. But yeah. Anyway, you have any questions or anything, or any interesting stories, or I've been going almost 2 hours. I wish I had a image of how this really starts off. I mean, I kind of did that example here uh, early on in the stream of how I kind of start stuff. And kind of how what I present to the client before I so that we can finalize the composition and stuff. But this right here is going to be, I plan on this being some sort of inner sphere vehicle. Futuristic, of course. I don't know. They have hovercraft. I think they have flying cars back then, or in this time frame. Almost said back then. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Just an old wreck, or not an old wreck, but a wreck in the rubble, the war torn city. I think that's what this is going to be here. So it's pretty much, I know I'm quiet. I don't know. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to have to learn how to talk and draw at the same time. pay attention to stuff. Something I'm not really good at. This should be, this is going to look like it levels out here. This is going to be part of a destroyed building. These are like light posts here. But more rubble. So yeah, the reason why I looked that up, glad I got back to this, is because this is an ER medium laser. It's not going to have smoke like that. It's going to be more of a ring. It's going to be more vertical than that. Kind of like that. So they have like a ring. Something, I don't know. Maybe a laser wouldn't do that. It'd be more like a plasma weapon or something. I don't know. But it would definitely have like a light ring around somewhere. And when I go to do the final, it won't have line art on it. Well, some of it might make really light, but it'll have it'll have more to do with the shading, you know, than this all lit up. This will all be lit up here, front part here, you know, because he's firing. Matter of fact, I could probably put some of that in right now. This thing's in my way. That's why it looks like I'm constantly looking under. So I initially just shade it like this, really quick and dirty, just to get the different levels of the different levels of the picture in, you know, foreground, midground, background. And then, you know, you always go from light to dark. No, you don't have to. Nobody says you have to, but that helps me if I do it that way. Because I'm not much of a painter. I can do shading pretty well, but painting, I'm not that good at. I'm not horrible. I do more when I color something, it's more of comic book style, and less about a painting style. I'm jealous of the people who can do it that way, who can actually paint. It's pretty awesome. So yeah, so then I would go in here just to set values, bump that up a little bit, and then you know, kind of try to give the illusion that this is getting all lit up, right? Have some light here and here. Probably have some here like that. Probably some on the front here. Some on the ridge like that. Some down here, maybe a little here on the leg. Maybe a little here. Maybe a little here. Not a lot. You want most of it to be right here where the light source is going to be at. And then you could always go a little darker tone down that light and put it on the other areas that would be lit up a little bit. Top here, some here. Yeah, kind of like that. Something like that. It'll be good. I should have this one finished here before the weekend. By Friday, probably. I hope. It's pretty much at the point. Sorry. It's pretty much at the point where I can start actually doing the. Oops. Let me turn that back up. Where are we at here? There we are. I can go in here and start doing pencil line work. Pretty close to being at that stage. I need to just do a little bit more detail on the spider. But yeah, other than that, we're pretty close. It only takes me about 2-3 hours to do the line work. And then I'll do the shading after that, which is about another 2 hours. So, but having said that, I think I'm going to call it. I've been on here for almost 2 hours. Yeah, I do appreciate people who have stopped by. Archangel, I appreciate Archangel Lord. Appreciate you coming by. I really do. Really helps not to have to talk to nobody while I'm streaming. And Woodrow and John, thanks for showing up. Appreciate you guys. I don't know how often I'll do this. It just depends on if people want to see it or not. So just let me know. Let me know in the comments if it's worth it or not. If you enjoyed it. If you do, consider subbing to my channel, hitting the like button, letting people know I do it. I also like to do streams with other comic creators, indie comic creators, writers, artists, trying to get a couple colorists in here, maybe letterers, talk about their craft, talk about working on indie comics, how they find the experience, if they enjoy it, do they do it for riches or do they do it for fame or do they do it for the love of it? You know, that kind of stuff. The series is called Making Comics. I haven't done one in a while just because I've been busy with other things, but I'd like to get back into it, get some more people in there. So anyways, I do appreciate you guys. Thank you for stopping by. You all have a good week and come back again. Thanks a lot. Bye.